Yo, it's that time right now to talk that Knicks N Ish. The New York Knicks close out the preseason with an impressive victory over the Charlotte Hornets at home. Your favorite panels here discuss all of that as well as our picks to make the team. Also, we'll talk around the NBA, but Fraz, if you will, please.
Hit the intro.
Mic check 1, 2.
Action!
Tell these rappers I'm outside, get them start acting up. I'm turning hoes to housewives and cleaning the ratchet up. Do it all from boom back to melody rap. If they gon' put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic simplicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it. That's it. Welcome to precinct.
Fuck everybody on the front. When we see you in the finals, bring that same energy, nigga.
Yo, you already know what time it is. It is time to talk that Knicks N Ish. I'm your boy, the infamous one, Knickerbocker Ave. I'm joined, as always, by my favorite panelist, the First Lady of Knicks N Ish, Mrs. Knicks. And of course, the one and only, the true parlay lord himself, Mr. Fraz Taz. How we all doing today?
I don't know. I feel kind of weird because that's usually my thing, but today I take the back seat. I'm chilling though, man.
That's all we can ask for. That's all we can ask for. A special shout out to our two hosts, Kev and Tea Time, wherever you guys are. Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are well. My prayers to you all. But we're gonna keep the show on and popping for y'all because the Knicks just closed out the preseason. 113-108 victory over the Charlotte Hornets. A strong showing by our captain, Jalen Brunson. He came to play. He came to kind of it was that and that. I don't know what that was. I don't know where that came from. All of a sudden he's an archer and whatnot. But I mean, Fraz, lead us off with how you let this go.
Well, first and foremost, as we always do over here at Knicks N Ish, shout out everybody who about to pull up, who's in the comments. Don't forget to press like for your favorite panel. Sharing as always, Karen. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you hit that bell so you get all notifications when Knicks N Ish goes live. Now, as far as tonight's preseason game, um, I like the way how the captain came out tonight. This is one of them games where the captain says, "Let me take charge," because now the team's starting to understand that the captain ain't gonna have to do it every night as far as take over and lead the team scoring wise. Um, Shout out Michael Brown in the building. We see you out there in the YouTube streets. Um, as far as the rest of the team goes, I think this team with this new look offense is definitely gonna thrive for the fact that, like I said it before, Mikal Bridges is going to thrive in this offense more so than he has last year. This offense is tailored for Mikal Bridges off ball a lot more this year. You're gonna get a lot of that this year, and the Knicks running the floor is going to be something to see. The way the Knicks are running the floor right now, it's going to be very hard for teams to keep up with us, especially when we finally get the transition game down from offense to defense and defense to offense. I'm starting to see a lot of activity off ball movement, and I like it. I like where this offense is headed. It's just a matter of keeping it together and having the right pieces throughout the season.
Absolutely, I concur with that assessment. Obviously, with the preseason, you're going to see a lot more faces because it's still a tryout period for everybody. But Mrs. Knicks, what did you like or dislike about tonight's game and pretty much the preseason in general?
I mean, I don't want to harp too much on the negative just because it is preseason and we know that's not gonna be the norm, right? So like us missing so many shots is not gonna be the norm. I think in our chat during the game you said our shooting was shit. That's not gonna be the norm. So let's see what I like. I like seeing JB not bringing up the ball. I love that part of the game because, as we know, teams harp on putting pressure on him bringing it up, and then we have a limited shot clock. Well, without that happening, we have 24 seconds to get a great shot off. And so having him not bring up the ball for the majority of the game, I love seeing it. I love seeing the ball movement. Seeing him I think he had 6 assists today, but he had great passes to the center position, which if you watch the show, you know we always say he should be throwing it up for Mitch. Unfortunately, Mitch didn't play, but he had some great passes to Ariel today. So that was great to see, something we didn't see too much of last season. Good to see other people step in, right? Like we didn't have a lot of our main guys. And you saw, good play from Deuce, good play from Mikal. I mean, we say it all the time here. Mikal is unstoppable mid-range. No team, I'm not just saying because this is Charlotte and Charlotte is shit, but no team is going to be able to stop Mikal in the mid-range. And even though Jalen is still doing Jalen moves, it doesn't look like he has the ball for so long because it's moving before it gets to him. And the ball, the pace of our offense is going a lot faster than last season, in my opinion. But I will say one thing I didn't like. Yabusele just standing behind that 3-point line. I need you to move around some, bro. We know you can knock them down, but when you're not knocking them down, don't just stop at the 3-point line. You are an inside presence as well. Make that known.
That's why the term is called free throw line extended.
Yeah, there was a couple of times today where I saw him in transition just stop at the 3-point line. And I'm like, that's not going to work for me.
Absolutely. When you have a frame of 6'8", weighing around 250, 260 pounds, and you're a solid dude. Because what up, Marlon Mayhem? What's good, baby? When you are that dude and you built like that, I need you to channel your inner Anthony Mason. I need to channel your inner Charles Barkley. I need you to keep going toward that rim and be that and be that bulldozing wrecking ball that dude's got to clear out for you. Because yes, we know you can hit the three, but remember how many shots you've been taking all preseason, and look at the sigh of relief when that first one finally dropped at the Garden. I think he's like 4 for 14 for the whole preseason, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't need you to be hitting threes every single time. I need you down low. I need you banging dudes. I need you being able to rebound. Exactly. When he saw that sigh of relief, it was like, okay, so we know you can do it. I'm not expecting that out of you. That's not the only part of your game. One of the biggest things that people have been like raving about, of course, is that dunk on LeBron. And that didn't happen at the 3-point line. That happened down low. So I need you to play your game. But my assessment thus far, obviously, JB is playing almost at full speed. So, him being able to kind of like get his legs under him after, sitting out that last game on Monday. However, I really did enjoy to see the big men go. I liked Jamison starting center. I liked Muhammad Diawara playing the power forward. I didn't realize how good of a player Muhammad Diawara really was. I mean, sure, we've seen plenty of tape. We saw him a little bit on the Summer League, and we've seen him in little bits and pieces throughout the preseason. But to be honest with you, seeing him tonight, I'm not comfortable with him starting, but I'm comfortable with him, playing, 5-10 minutes a night just so he can get some experience in and then actually start to develop his game because he's got a little bit of a dog in him. I'm going to be honest with you. I see Mohamed Diawara and I'm like, you got a little bit of that dog in you, and I need to see that more. Obviously, you're going to have to show that out in practice and show that out to impress the coaching. But, with no Cat, no Mitch, no OG, no Josh Hart, I need the Diawara, I need Yabusele to be them dogs when those guys are not on the floor. So, but overall, everything you guys said about Mikal Bridges is absolutely certain. I think that he was tailor-made for a Mike Brown offense. Obviously, Deuce McBride is tailor-made for a Mike Brown kind of offense. I mean, just look at, the ability to get up and down the floor, check out the spacing, seeing, who's ahead of them. These two guys are going to thrive like crazy. And, there's obviously one other person who didn't play, but is also going to thrive tremendously, is that OG Anunoby.
Well, I mean, it goes without being said. Like, he's had his 30-point games last season. I think he's had at least 5 30-point games last season in OG Anunoby. Of course, we've said it here, he's underrated at driving to the rim, which you're going to see a lot more of this year from OG Anunoby. You're going to see a lot more of him attacking the rim and looking to dunk the ball a little bit more. But that
I'm
three
cool
ball,
with that as long as he's not dribbling to the basket.
no.
As long as he's not dribbling to the basket.
Well,
It needs to be an assist to him at the rim. Every time.
Or like a simple continuation. I agree. If he has to dribble the ball more than once, then I start to panic a little bit. But to be honest with you, we digress a little bit. Moving along, obviously, we know what tomorrow is. Tomorrow's Saturday. Tomorrow is the official cut day for the New York Knicks. And with the most recent announcement of Malcolm Brogdon choosing to retire from the game of basketball, we touched on this on the Knickerbocker Avenue Fan Forum on Wednesday night, and we try not to take too much time on that because people will get long-winded and talk about how great of a career he is. But let's be realistic. He spent 2 weeks with the Knicks, had a free trip to Abu Dhabi, as my boy Barlow would say, and I mean, it's disappointing, but we wish him well, and that's it. I'm not gonna go into more detail about that. Fraz?
Listen, would love to have him on the roster for this season, this run of the season that I feel the Knicks are gonna have. But all the best to Malcolm Brogdon. When you were in your first few years, you were a hell of a player. I mean, hell of a defensive presence. Had a 3-point shot that was pretty consistent. Handles is kind of crazy. And you was dunking on people. I wish you would have at least gave it a shot this year, but I respect the decision either way,
Sis?
I'm a little disappointed, to be honest. I mean, y'all know who my pick for the last spot was, but I was opening up to allowing him to be a Knick. But I mean, we don't know the ins and outs of his mental as to what he thought, he could offer this team or not offer this team clearly. And, if he made the right decision for himself, I understand. If he allowed that position to be open for someone else who maybe he felt can offer more, I absolutely understand. I wish he would have did it earlier on, maybe. Because I feel like in the time that we did see him play, he showed us things that he could offer to the team, right? I don't think it would have been just, he's just there. But I mean, it is what it is. I think Now it's between two guys instead of three, and we'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
Right. And I think that with Malcolm Brogdon's retirement, of course, the Twitterverse that we all love and care for, and we just that just automatically starts to cook. And it's kind of crazy how often I get a message or a blurb or something. Why don't the Knicks go after Spencer Dinwiddie? The Hornets just released him. He can fill in what Brogdon is. And then I
He
sit
could
there
go
and
back to
ask them.
Brooklyn.
I ask you guys this question: is like, what sense does that make, considering that the Knicks are doing are in the roster crunch that they have? How does that work? Because if Malcolm Brogdon, with his retirement, that solves the problem a little bit. Because now you don't have to sit here and play, devil's advocate of like, do we go Landry Shamet? Do we go Malcolm Brogdon? That decision's been made for us. But now you want to complicate it a little bit more because you figure, well, Spencer Dinwiddie is kind of like a Malcolm Brogdon. If you look at it, if you squint your eyes long enough and you tilt your head like this, and then, yeah, he kind of looks like Malcolm Brogdon a little bit, don't he? But and I just start to cringe. But maybe you guys can help me make sense of it. What sense does it make for the Knicks to even consider this idea, knowing the roster moves that we have to make, the cuts that we have to make tomorrow, and come opening night, we will finally have that whole thing settled. What are your thoughts?
Well, let me start off with y'all in the chat. Who y'all think makes the last spot on the Knicks? Put it in the chat. Who y'all think makes the last spot of the Knicks? For me, I think with Brogdon retiring, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be Shamet.
Right.
I think that's the smartest decision to make. I feel like he already has the chemistry with this team. To me, it makes no sense to bring in someone who hasn't played with this team. If you're going to go the route of someone not playing, then I say you do Garrison Matthews, right? Because at least he played some preseason with the team. But I feel like although this is the last spot, it is a very important spot, right? Because it's not like this is going to be a player that's never going to get burned and sit at the end of the bench. This last spot is still going to be someone that gets some type of minutes and important minutes on this team. And so I don't think bringing in someone who hasn't played a minute with this current team, as in a Dinwiddie, will be smart. Or anyone else that, again, hasn't played with this team. I think it's going to be Shamet. Me and Fraz were talking before we went live, and I didn't know. So I'm wondering, like, okay, this is the end, right? We have to cut somebody. Why hasn't Matthews played today? And Fraz mentioned there was.
He was telling me a little bit too.
Ultimatum he gave the Knicks. And so, okay, that makes a lot of sense, right? Like, don't do us like that because we about to show you what time it is. He may have just signed his ass out of New York. So I think that spot goes to Shamet.
Well, a quick update. I live really close to JFK Airport. I just think he walked right by me and is headed to the airport now. Braz?
So basically, it's like Sis said, we were having a discussion about this early on. I had seen a report that at first I actually thought wasn't an actual report because, it's a lot of Knicks or click stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff that, you got to sit and actually weed through it all to find the legit information. You know what I'm saying? So I found a report that Garrison Matthews basically gave the Knicks an ultimatum. Shout out Michael Pringle in the building. Garrison Matthews gave the Knicks an ultimatum. He basically said he doesn't want to play in the G League. So referring to him basically wanting that said last roster spot that we're talking about right now. So yes, he kind of played himself by doing that because we all know you don't go at Knicks brass like that and think that something's gonna happen. Like that's a big no. So you might have just shot yourself in the foot, straight cheddar ball, and just did yourself dirty on that last roster spot. Even though you did play pretty decent in the preseason up until being benched for the last game. But I think Shamet does, in a way, deserve that last roster spot because, and again, we've mentioned this here on Knicks N Ish. Look at how far Shamet has come with us. We signed him in free agency. He got hurt when we first got him. The Knicks did not do him dirty. They did not do him dirty. They kept him on the roster, paid the man, and found a way to get him back to the main roster once he was healthy. And he came back full circle and paid it forward. So I feel that Sherman kind of belongs on the roster. Not that he deserves it. I'm gonna say he belongs on the roster because he is a good fit for the run and gun style offense that Mike Brown is implementing, especially with that 3-point shot because that's going to be an emphasis this year, a 3-point shot. And we talked about this a couple episodes ago as well. So, yeah, I think Landry Shamet will round out the roster at number 15.
And see, that's kind of sucks because for me, I really like Garrison Matthews. I really did. I think that he would have probably have won out. At least in my mind, he would have beaten Shamet straight up because he is someone who can't hit the 3-point shot. He's kind of like a Steve Novak type kind of guy. He does add size. I mean, not a lot. I mean, he's 6'6", 6'7". But his game hasn't really been about defense. So, but who knows if Coach Brown would have been able to mask that and utilize him as a 3-point specialist when you need a bucket, when you need a 3-point threat, and you need to open up the paint so that Mitch and Mikal and Cat can work down low. You can always put a Garrison Matthews out there because now you have to respect that shot. You have to get guys, keep a guy on that you can double up on our guys. It's going to be hard to double up on them anyway as it is because they're getting up and down the floor. These not the same old Knicks that were last in pace or 26th in pace. This is going to be a team that's going to be getting up in the door. They're going to try to put up 125 a night. And so I would have loved for Garrison Matthews to have been on this team and been somebody that we can depend on. But like Malcolm Brogdon in a little way, you made the decision for us. And, we wish you well, but be careful getting to JFK because they are doing a lot of reconstruction out there. The traffic is horrible, right? Even at this time. That Van Wyck is a mother, and, that's it.
And stay off the Nassau Expressway, too. It's very bad. I know it is. Trust me. You're talking to a Far Rockaway kid, right? Let's keep it real here. You know what I mean? But, basically, go ahead.
So I think with Garrison Matthews, pretty much, he DMP'd. And he gave the ultimatum. Malcolm Brogdon retired. It's obvious that Landry Shamet would probably be the one that gets the call. But do the Knicks, in your opinion, should still make a move, or are you content with still carrying a Mohamed Diawara, a Kevin McCullough Jr., a Tyler Kolek, a Pack 'em Up Dadier? Are you guys okay with that, or should the Knicks consider making a move and still trying to free up roster space?
let me start this one off. It's Leon Rose. Yeah, you better stay on alert. There's a deal about to go down. It's not for Giannis. No, I'm not talking about for Giannis, but somebody's getting moved in a few short. I think it's gonna be very like upcoming. Like, don't be surprised. Leon Rose has been very unpredictable in recent years with moves. A lot of like Knicks, the high ups in the Knicks organization have not been leaking information on who they looking at, who they about to go after. So is the level of unpredictability with Leon Rose. We all know, we've seen it. Like, we didn't expect to have a Karl Anthony Towns. You know what I'm saying? So be on alert. It might be a deal going down.
Hold up, somebody's calling my phone. MSG and Leon, don't call me. You gotta call other teams, bro. What the hell? I ain't got nobody.
Uh,
Sis.
I think the team stays as is. I think we're in a good position. I don't think anyone that we bring on other than who signed that last spot is gonna get any important minutes. I did like what I saw from Tyler last game and this game. I think what we saw this game today mirrored what we see in Jalen Brunson. He's trying to be Jalen Brunson. And I'm cool with it. I like the
I was
breaking down of
wondering if I was the only one that thought that. I was thinking the same exact thing. It's like he's doing what Jalen was doing in Dallas.
right. Right. And I'm like, okay, he's breaking down the defense. He's going for the shot. Kind of like what we say we want Deuce to do, right? Because Deuce easily breaks down defense. He just looks to pop it back out instead of going for the shot. But there was a play, I think, in the third or early fourth where Tyler broke down the defense, caught some contact, and threw it up. And I'm like, that's straight out of JB's playbook. Okay, I'm with it. No, but I really think these young guys that we have a lot of potential. And I'm all for keep the kids, right? Play the kids, keep the kids.
Mama Knicks.
I think the ones we have a lot of potential. They just need development. I mean, like you said earlier, Diawara showed a lot. Even just the poise he plays with, he doesn't look like he's forcing it. It looks like he has a good one. He has height, which I like. He had that little floater that went in today. I'm like, oh, okay, I could do that.
Make Mama proud.
I've seen enough of McCullough in the NBA. Let me say that. But from college, he has potential. With this whole injury last year, kind of like stopped us from seeing what he could give. So I think he's definitely into the G League this season. I still think Dadier has so much potential. I think we need to. He's a keeper. Unless we're getting someone someone that will contribute to this current team immediately, we keep the young guys and just develop them.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to visit the Knicks N Ish Shopify. The link is right there on the trailer, right there on the ticker, knicksnish.myshopify.com. Get yourself some merch and continue to like, comment, and subscribe to support your favorite panel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We are on that road. That number keeps on growing each and every passing day, and we thank each and every one of you for doing that. Sharing is caring. Tell your friends to tell your friends to tell your friends. The intelligent Knicks fan who like to talk that ish is right here on Knicks N Ish. Fraz?
Real quick, I gotta shout out my guy Frankie Fingers in the building. I see
Frankie Fingers.
My guy Frankie Fingers. You already know what it is. You know the vibe. Yes, sir. My guy, salute. You know what I mean? Wait, I'm waiting for the next topic. I'm good. What are we talking?
Very, very well. The next topic, because obviously, you know, the preseason is essentially over. It's almost time for. It's almost showtime,
Let's go
and of
time.
course, it's go time. The season that we have probably waited our entire lives is about to begin. It kicks off
Knickerbocker,
opening.
Knickerbocker, Knickerbocker. Stop saying probably. The
I,
season we have been waiting for.
I have to play. I have to be. I have to be optimistic. I have the faith. I have the passion. But I do have to pose this question because I was thinking to myself, you know, it's not just us that have the Eastern Conference the way it's set up for right now. We obviously know that there are other teams that are going to become gunning, not only for the Knicks, but for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. We already know who is the other one. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they won 64 games last year. They've been a team, they've been as currently constructed for a couple of years now. They're knocking on that door. So my question to each one of you and to everybody, if you want to comment in, please do that. Hit the super chat and we'll pop you up real quick. Who is the pressure more on? The New York Knicks or the Cleveland Cavaliers? Braz, lead us off. Who has the more pressure to cash in on the Eastern Conference being what it is today?
Well, here's the thing, right? Let's look at both teams from this perspective. Cleveland Cavaliers are a perennial team that make the playoffs every year and don't get past the first round. Now, this New York Knicks team has progressed further each year that they've made playoffs in the last few, going from conference semis to conference, going from first round to conference semis to conference finals, right? So there's always been pressure on the New York Knicks to bring a championship back to the city since the 73 season. Honestly, if you're asking me, it's always been and always will be the pressure more on the New York Knicks. Because at the end of the day, the fan expectation is an aspect you could look at and we could sit here and have a 2-hour debate on. Just the overall, we have the squad to do it now and a better coach who could have us more, who's going to have us more offensive minded this year is going to add into it. All factors being considered, the Knicks have more pressure on them right now. They always have. They always will.
That is the curse, the gift and the curse of always playing in the world's largest market and the world's most famous arena. Mrs. Knicks, same question to you.
I'm going to go the other way. I think the pressure is going to be on Cleveland. Yes, we have the team. Yes, everybody now is riding our because we're the team to be right now. But realistically, Cleveland has yet to get out of round one. I think the pressure is on them. We have proven ourselves season and season again. Although we haven't won a championship, although we have not made it to the finals, we have made progress every single season. And so, yes, the pressure's on us because we're New York, and all that's fine and dandy with the media and all that. I'm cool with that. But realistically, the pressure's on Cleveland. They have yet to proven themselves to be a playoff winning team. And so they have more on their shoulders. They're well constructed as well. They have played together longer than we have played together as well. And so the pressure can't only be on us because we're the Knicks. At some point, you have to throw the pressure on their ass because they have a bigger name star than we do, and cannot make it past round one. Even with all those wins, you can win 82 games, can't get out of round one. You ain't shit.
Sis took all my thunder, but I'm gonna add a little lightning to it. In addition to the fact that they won 64 games last year, an impressive feat. And in addition to the fact that they have been together longer, I mean, Donovan Mitchell, he arrived in Cleveland 3 years ago when they gave up all those picks. They've had Darius Garland, they've had Evan Mobley, they've had their team and their core intact for about at least 3 years. The Knicks had Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns for one.
Just making one.
And Mikal Bridges. The core for the most consistent core over the last more than one season is Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson.
And
Deuce. After that, the core has been added to year after year after year. So in my opinion, the pressure is 1,000% heavily on the Cleveland Cavaliers for the very fact that they did win 64 games. They were the best team in the Eastern Conference among the regular season. But as Sis just alluded to, if you can't get out of your way in the playoffs, with the team in your core currently constructed, factoring in, you gave up so many picks to get Donovan Mitchell there in the first place that you still haven't recovered. On top of that, your sole championship is under the LeBron James era, and I know that Cleveland, the city of Cleveland, the land, has been aching to kind of get away from that. They celebrated their championship. They want to move on from it. And if they can't do that, then what are they going to do? Are you going to start? Eventually, you have to consider that maybe, just maybe, this is as good as it's going to get, and we have to consider moving some pieces.
Yep.
And once you start doing that, you're gonna go through the growing pains that that every team has to go through when a key superstar or a franchise impacting player has to move on. Milwaukee, you're next. But Cleveland, you're not too far behind. So in my opinion, the pressure is more on them because I always know this. Giannis already said he wants to come to the Knicks. So we got that in our back pocket. If it doesn't work out this season, we got that in our back pocket. We can pull out that card. Who's saying that they're going to Cleveland? Who's ever said they want to go to Cleveland?
In the words of Joakim Noah, you think Cleveland's cool?
I know it's cold as hell right now over there, but that's about it. With that being said, the Eastern Conference.
Well, let me add something on to that. And
sure.
Although it's game one, it is against Cleveland.
And
in the words of Tea Time, I need belt to ass. Belt to ass.
Un correazo, coño.
I need these Knicks to be as focused, belt to ass. I don't want to hear it because all last season, all we heard was, y'all can't beat the top teams. Y'all can't beat the top teams. Y'all 0 whatever against the top teams. Knicks,
0-8.
I know y'all watch this show. Y'all watch the playbacks. Y'all watch videos we post on YouTube and Instagram. Belt to ass against Cleveland.
I think in game one, they have to come out ready to rock like it's a playoff game.
Absolutely.
They have to come out and given my boy Mr. Live always say, you don't really assess the team after 20 games. But I need this victory right now. I need this victory. I need these victories right now. I need statements to be made, and I personally need it. I know that a lot of people within the Knickerbocker Nation are all willing to. They want these victories off the top because when it comes down to it, Sis alluded to it. We did go 0-8 versus OKC versus Cleveland versus Boston. We eliminated Boston. We would have eliminated Cleveland too, but Indiana beat us to it. That's the problem. In the first round. So, Braz, anything you want to add to that?
Actually, no, I'm good.
Very well.
Say it.
Beltas, correazo en la nalga, coño. Métele mano. De lo mío, man.
We must carry on the Knicks and its tradition. Belt the ass, Cleveland Cavaliers, and the rest of the Eastern Conference.
With that being said, the Eastern Conference is what it is, but and so we know who the top two teams are. We also know who's right behind us, who wants to give us that belt the ass treatment, to us respectively. You look at Detroit, you look at Orlando, you kind of look at Atlanta, and then of course you don't know what Milwaukee's going to be. Is there anybody else in the Eastern Conference? Because we're gonna talk about the West real quick too, but is there anybody in the Eastern Conference that you look at, you're like, there's something there?
The Knicks.
We already know we're the top two teams.
That's all I'm talking about.
We're either one or two.
None of them, no team scares me. I'm not saying I'm overlooking anybody, but no one on the East scares me. No one. Okay, they could beat us, but they're not going to beat us in a series. None of them scare me. I feel like Detroit gave us a run for our money, but Detroit is not that same team right now, right? No. Like, Ivy is now hurt again. They don't have Malik Beasley, who was a huge part of, making round one interesting. So they're not the same team, and we don't know what they're going to look like. Orlando is Orlando. They've given us a run for our money throughout the season. They have good talent, but can they beat us in a series? I don't think so. Atlanta just doesn't. Nothing intrigues me about Atlanta. Like, yeah, Trae Young has our card. That's cool. But other than that, they got Porzingis. Okay, that's cool. What else? We got two starting lineups. So what else? Who else y'all throwing at me? I really don't fear anyone in a series.
I think you just said it right there. Can they beat us in a series? They can beat us in a game.
Right.
And
anybody can get beat in a game.
So the question for Atlanta is that it's not a matter of whether can you beat us in a series. Can you get these guys healthy so they can make the series first? Because Porzingis is just one broken toenail away from retirement. That's his reality, Fraz.
Here's a team in the East that I think is going to make it interesting. I'm gonna say, and I'm not advocating for the team by any means, so please let's not take this the wrong way, fans. Before I
disclaimer.
The question is who I think is going to be a sleeper in the East, and I'm gonna say Miami. As much as I hate playing them, I just feel like some way or another they're gonna find their way in the mix. Not saying they're gonna be ahead of us. I'm just saying. Again, I'm sticking to the question here of who's a sleeper pick. I just think they're gonna find their way into the playoff mix. somehow.
That is blasphemous.
Can they beat us in a series?
They can't beat us in the game. They can't beat us in the game. I don't think they can beat us in the game. That's how I feel about them. I don't think they could be. I don't think they can even. They can. I don't think they're going to have even a winning record against their own division. That's just how I see it.
Haven't we owned Miami in the last 2 or 3 seasons anyway?
I don't think we've lost to Miami since Jimmy Butler left.
I was about to say because Jalen Brunson's had their number damn near every game he's played in Miami.
Right. So
and keep in mind, Tyler Hero is still hurt.
Yes. I will tip my cap to Eric Spoelstra as a head coach, and a salute and a fuck you to Pat Riley. But I think that Miami is. I think Miami's cooked, to be honest with you. So while we're finishing up with the Eastern Conference, we don't talk too much about the West. And this was a topic of conversation on the Knickerbocker Avenue Fan Forum on Wednesday. If you don't know, I do host a space Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. I don't know how we're going to do it this week with opening night. But this was a question that was posed, and it really caught a really good debate. I want you guys to focus on the Western Conference for a second. And you already know, you probably have like 3 teams that pop off right off the bat. And if you notice, not one of those teams are in the Pacific Division. Is there any team, now think about the Pacific Division, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Kings, the Suns. Is there any team out of all of those teams that I just mentioned going to contend with the Houstons or the OKCs or the San Antonios or the Dallases of the world? Is there any team in that division that's going to come out of it? Who's going to win that division?
I probably would say the Clippers.
Okay. Why?
If they can stay healthy.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the main factor. Like, if they can stay healthy, you got Chris Paul leading the charge again in a Clippers uniform. Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard, Zubac is one of the premier big men now in the NBA. A lot of double-doubles. And they just didn't they get Collins from Utah as well?
I don't know. I got to confirm that one.
So, because I know Collins is no longer on Utah. I think he's on the Clippers.
John Collins is on the Clippers.
Okay.
Thank you. Parlay North, you already know how I do. Yeah, the Clippers. I think the Clippers take that division. Definitely.
Outright, or do you think there is anybody going to battle them?
Outright, or I don't know. You have to remember, if Steph Curry is still playing, he's always going to be in the talk. So, being at least in the playoff picture. So, I don't know.
I think Golden State takes that division.
Wow. First time I've heard that one.
I think so. I mean, I don't think the Lakers are impressive. They haven't been impressive to me in a couple of seasons. The Clippers, it all depends on health, right? Because unhealthy, they're nothing. They're trash. Or one player hurt, it's a wrap for them. Yep. Phoenix is Phoenix and Sacramento is Sacramento. I think
Phoenix already got injuries. Jalen Green's already dealt with hamstring injury. Check. I just was looking at that too earlier before the live. Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I think Golden State takes that division.
LeBron with sciatica.
He is older. It happens.
And these are actual reports. If you don't know, go get the Score app on your phone, ladies and gentlemen. All the legitimate reports are in the Score app. I have it on my phone. Yes, yo, salute to you as well, my guy Randall. I see you out there. But yeah, definitely.
All right. I revealed my pick, and honestly, I disagree with both of you. The team that's going to win the Pacific Division is going to be the Sacramento Kings. And I'll tell you why.
I know what you said, but go ahead. I'm gonna let you say it.
The Phoenix Suns, they're a lottery team. They're an easy lottery team. The Golden State Warriors, they'll make it interesting because Steph Curry is still Steph Curry. No matter, I don't care how old this nigga is. This dude is still Steph fucking Curry, and he's in scoring range right now. He doesn't have to be playing. He's in scoring range. The Lakers, I know that that the whole perception of the Lakers right now is that this is going to be Luka's team, but this can never be Luka's team if the guy whose team it used to be is still there. I'm sorry, but LeBron James was the face of the Lakers for the last 3-4 years, not to mention the face of the league.
5 years.
And on top of that, he still wants to be that guy. I don't think that LeBron James is satisfied.
Hold on. Say that again, because I need Frank to hear that. Because me and Frank just had this conversation a couple of days ago. Say that again, a little louder.
LeBron James is not going to be satisfied with him being a complimentary role player to Luka Doncic. I don't see how that ever happens. LeBron James is the face of the Lakers and has been the face of the NBA for far too long. This man is not satisfied with the conversation being what it is today. So in some way, shape, or form, he's going to make that team his until the day comes that he either is shipped out or he hangs them up. I don't see how this is.
Frank says LeBron is going to come off the bench this season. I said absolutely not.
He's coming off the bench because the game hasn't started yet. That's why. Because they're announcing his name starting at forward at 6'8" from God knows where in Cleveland. Number LeBron James, and with all due respect, because this is one of the few times where I'm going to praise LeBron. LeBron James kind of earned it. He earned to be in that position. He has been the face of the league for so freaking long. He has been the face of the Lakers and carried that team and has carried the burden of being the face of LA following the Kobe Bryant era. Brought them a championship, even though it was in the bubble, but it is what it is. It's a championship nonetheless. And I'm sorry, until you hear him say, "This is my final season," or "I want to be traded," that's still LeBron's team. And any team, following that is going to be LeBron's team until you can start seeing that LeBron James is kind of like Bernard King a little bit, where he's old and he's hobbling and he's not there anymore. I'm sorry. So that disqualifies the Lakers. The Clippers, y'all just hit it on the head. They are a pretty solid team. But how old is Chris Paul now?
Old.
40.
And how many games has he played over the last 5 years? See, y'all have to Google it up because the answer is very simple. He hasn't played more than 60 games in a single season over the last 5 years. Not to mention, Kawhi Leonard is not here. He may be physically there, but he's not. He's got so much shit right now, and with this scandal going on, I don't think that this is going to continue to be well for Kawhi Leonard in Los Angeles. I think that this is kind of being like a prelude to where Kawhi Leonard either has to be moved so that this scandal can get away from them, or he may consider retiring. I know Stephen A. Smith. I know we feel what we feel about him, but let's be realistic. I don't think Kawhi. I don't think Kawhi. I think the legend of Kawhi died the second he left Toronto, and then that was it. So that leaves me with the Sacramento Kings. If you look at the Sacramento Kings on, by the roster with Domantas Sabonis and now adding Russell Westbrook, you can say what you want to say about him. The guy's still a walking triple-double every night.
Yeah.
And he's going to go out there and trying to get his next big contract. He's waiting for that team to give him that next big contract, maybe his last one. So by process of elimination, just by just looking at the Pacific Division, which by the way, it is the weakest division by far, and it is the weakest that division's ever been over the last 5 or 10 years. That team, that division has produced the Lakers, the Clippers, the Warriors almost every year. And in this position right now, it is prime pickings for the Sacramento Kings to not only take that division, but may give those guys and give those Houstons and the OKCs and all of them, give them a run for their money. Because more than likely, that's their first round matchup anyway.
And I don't know if y'all seen them in the comments, but shout out my guy Kev, man. What up, cuz?
What up, cuz?
Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting to see how that Pacific Division play out this year.
It is. It is going to be an interesting season because you can say what you want about the Eastern Conference and how weak it is, and you look at the Western Conference, and it's not like it's not what it was. Bottom line, Randu, right? Look at that. Look at that. I don't even have to say it.
I'm gonna say. Let me respond to this one. So yes, the Thunder will come out the West.
More than likely,
not beating us in the finals. We make it to the finals, they will not beat us. If you go back and watch the finals, yes, OKC played well all season, not taking anything from their talent, but that finals performance put no fear in my heart. They didn't look good in them finals. This Knicks team can beat that team in that finals. So, yes, they will make it to the finals in the West. But if they see our Knicks, it's our championship.
To be honest with you, I'm going to side with Carmelo Anthony. I think he said it on 7 p.m. He sees the Knicks and Nuggets. I almost see the same thing, too. I kind of see the same thing. I think that, Jokic and Murray, I think those guys, I don't know. I saw a preseason game, and I see a different look in their eyes. Like, they got...
Too.
Say again?
They added Valanciunas, too. You have to remember that.
I have to add to that because in reality, I see a little stink in their face. Like they not happy. They got something to prove. They know, the task that they have to do. They know that they're kind of like what the Knicks were doing last year when we were like, we got to beat Boston. I see Denver, and it's like, we got to beat the snot out of OKC. We got to put them back down there. And so I can see a Western Conference final with the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Denver Nuggets, and I can see that going 7 games. But again, the season has yet to be played. Time will tell. But I don't know, man. I'm still going with the Kings to win the Pacific, and I'm looking at the Denver Nuggets, being a perennial contender for the foreseeable future. As long as you got Joker and Murray there, and they keep on adding and keep on doing the good work that they do over there, I can see them being contenders for the next 5 years. And
they got Cam Johnson now too. because Mike would get traded.
I didn't realize that Tim Hardaway Jr. is not on Detroit anymore either.
No, he's not. No.
He's on Denver.
Yes. He left. He went back to Denver. He was on Denver for a minute, I believe.
And if they utilize him correctly, because I think that Dallas overexploited him the same way the Knicks did when he was here. I think they overexploited him. Like, they gave him too much of a green light. There was times in Dallas where, they kind of like pulled the reins on him and he was more effective. But then when injuries started to happening, he got more of a green light and he just shot himself out of the gym. I think in Denver, he's going to get those reins pulled back on him. Like, they're going to put him on a short leash. It's like, we're going to give you the green light, but I'll tell you when the light's green. And following that motif, I think that Denver will better utilize him and make him more of a threat rather than him just being a free swinging, chucker all day. But that's neither here nor there. He's not a Knick anymore. Why would I care? But I'm focusing on basketball in a sense because, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Do yourself a favor and support the channel. Hit a like, hit a comment, hit a subscribe, hit us up on the super chat whenever you can. Sharing is caring. We appreciate y'all with all our hearts and in our soul. We are so excited that this season is about to start. Shout out to everybody in the crew. Much love and prayers to Kev and T-Time and all their families. They're going through a tough time right now. But let's go around for final thoughts because it is 11:41. It is getting late. Sometimes I wish the games were on a little earlier, but it is what it is. I'm getting old. Praz, hold up.
Yeah, I was about to say, we not done.
Hold up. No, because there is something I do need to discuss with you. You are known as the Parlay Lord. You, sir, have been keeping some stuff from us, some very important information from us. And I keep on getting asked this question. Who you got for the for next week? So could you please let us know how you've been doing in your NFL top picks? And of course, before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, we are not financial analysts and we do not guarantee any results. However, if you win, shout us out. If you lose, it's your fault.
This is
Parlay Lord.
Just remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. We're not financial advisors over here at Knicks N Ish. I'm just giving you picks that I like. This is for fun, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do something a little bit different this week, only because of the simple fact of said reference from Knickerbocker Ave, all right? So first, I'm going to give you a couple of money line picks, and then I'm going to give you out a curveball for the week. I like the Bears over the Saints this week. I like the Patriots over the Titans this week. And the London game, I like the Jaguars over the Rams. I like Trevor Lawrence this week. They play well when they've been in London. So, and as far as the curveball I'm referencing, I know I've been sending you the winners for the first quarter props. So I'm gonna give y'all a list of first quarter props that I think are gonna hit this week on Football Sunday. All right. So I'm going with Kyron Williams for 10 rushing yards in the first quarter. Travis Etienne, 10 rushing yards in the first quarter. Saquon for 10 rushing yards in the first quarter. Saquon Barkley, I'm talking about. Jordan Mason for 5 rushing yards in the first quarter. Breece Hall for 5 rushing yards in the first quarter. Justin Fields for 5 rushing yards in the first quarter. Cam Scatterable for 10 rushing yards in the first quarter. and Jackson Dart for 5 rushing yards in the first quarter. But I like the 10. I like the 10 because I think he could get. I think he could get 10. So 5 and 10, you good with pushing the Jackson Dart one up to 10 for y'all. And before I'm finished, I'm gonna leave this one note for y'all as well. And we're gonna come back to this live in a while later on towards the end of the season. I placed a future bet earlier today for the Knicks to win the Eastern Conference, right? $100 to win $355. Yeah.
Who do I call my bookie? I gotta call my bookie.
And those, ladies and gentlemen, are the Parlay Lord picks for Week 7 of the NFL season.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are not financial advisors. However, Parlay Lord has occasionally, but actually not occasionally, weekly, has been sending me like his screenshots of what he's been doing. And I get the first thing I do is I get mad because it's like, dog, I need these picks because people ask me about them. But not only that, but then I see what he's doing, how much he's winning. I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, we're not talking about like like hundreds of thousands of dollars. But when he's winning, you're thinking to yourself, man, I could be using like $755 today. I mean, the new Knicks jerseys just came out the other day, and I'm like, I could have been using that money right now to buy the new statement or the new city jerseys, and oh my God, which reminds me, I know Sis has been talking about getting her a Deuce jersey. Are you doing it for the city jersey?
Deuce jersey.
Oh, okay.
I need a Mikal jersey.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm gonna do Mikal statement jersey, and I think I need a new JB jersey. I think he's gonna be the city jersey.
I ain't gonna lie. I want the Josh Hart statement jersey, and I definitely need a Mikal.
But I need a JB and a new Cat jersey because both of mine are autographed.
But you just gotta have a JB jersey. Period.
I need one that I can wear. I can't wear.
Yeah, because she can't wear it now. Once it's signed, it's enshrined. It has to be put in glass,
framed and graded. That's it. Framed and graded. That's it, bro.
But I will say this, since y'all talk about making money and stuff, y'all, that JB's gonna be worth something going forward. So if you can purchase JB items now, go ahead and get them, whether they be rookie cards, Knicks cards, jerseys, the Funko Pops. Go ahead and cop them now. I tell you, I have the Slam Funko Pop of JB that I bought pre-order, so I only paid 20-something bucks for it.
Right.
I got it autographed last season in Indiana. That Funko Pop right now, unautographed, is going for over $350. It has not been sold yet, autographed. So basically, if I was ever to sell it, which I'm not, I can put whatever price tag I want on it because it hasn't been sold yet. But again, buying it for $20-25 and now it'd be worth, you know what I'm saying, $350. He just had a new Funko Pop come out, a regular one. I paid $15. It's already going for over $150.
That's collectibles and memorabilia is obviously a hot commodity. And I share to you guys a very valuable thing that I have. I have a Mickey Mantle, Derek Jeter dual bat card that I didn't even pay for it. It was a gift when I used to work for Upper Deck, the trading card company, and they gave those out in 2005. So now that Derek is in the Hall of Fame, Mick's already been in the Hall of Fame, and those are actual, game used bat pieces that are in a card and it's in pristine condition. And I just looked it up recently. I paid nothing. Remember, it's worth over $5,000. And so, and I also have some, some Jordan autographs that I had from like 1997 or 96 or something like that. So anybody who knows anything about sports memorabilia, so what Sis is talking about, she took a $20 investment plus a couple of hours of her day because of course she had to wait in line to sit down and meet with Jalen Brunson, so it's just so he can sign it. Yeah, plus the $2 pen that she had to to get it, and it's going for $300 unsigned. You're talking about $500 to $600 right there, sitting right there on her desk somewhere. It's right there. It's $600 in just one little artifact. So yeah, there is a lot to be said about that stuff.
It's more than that.
I'm just thinking I'm thinking resale value.
No, resale value is in the thousands. That's autograph now. Trust me, because if it was to get graded, it would probably be a gem mint 10 pristine, because I'm sure it just sits there all day. She
doesn't untouched.
Exactly. They're gonna grade it a gem mint 10, and she's gonna get the maximum value for it. It's just gonna be in the thousands. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're looking to make money on top of the parlays, memorabilia, if you can, is absolutely the route to go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the ish portion of Knicks N Ish, because it's actually Knicks and it's a lot of ish, but it's valuable ish. It's valuable ish. And of course, at any point, if you're doing that, you never know what sentimental value an artifact or a collectible will mean to somebody. And when you talk about sentimentality, that has a price. So it actually might even be more than a few $1,000s that Fraz is talking about, because if JB wins the MVP and if he wins, if he does what he said, what we think he's going to do, which is finally hoist the Larry O'Brien Trophy at Madison Square Garden and we hang another banner. Let's just say that talk about who is the greatest Knick of all time, it's going to get a little bit more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. I'm pretty sure a Walt Frazier jersey, autographed is still worth, a few thousands of dollars. A Patrick Ewing, probably a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on who you ask. But if JB does it, like my boy Craig Tucker, in my lifetime, that's worth a few million. But that is the ish portion of everything. Mrs. Knicks, any final words?
Belt to ass. Belt to ass.
Una galleta, coño.
I want to win. I don't care. Belt to ass. Knicks, get it done. Period.
I hope y'all ready to see the real running gun that we've been referencing the last few years, because we know those of you who watch Knicks N Ish know that we always be saying, yo, we really could run teams out the gym, and Mike Brown is about to unlock that potential that we've been talking about with this New York Knicks team. Look out, I'm telling you. Look out. It's going to get real interesting this year.
It is. It definitely is. But remember this whole thing, folks. The goal is not 82-0. So, yes, there's going to be losses. There's going to be some moments where we're like, what the F is going on with this team? The goal is the Larry O'Brien. And we will hoist it up come May. But until then, we will be back here on Wednesday night following opening night of the New York Knicks 2025-2026 season, when we will put belt to ass on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, for the Parlay Lord, for the First Lady, for our co-panelists who can't be with us today, for Kevin Tea Time, I'm your boy, the infamous one, Knickerbocker Ave. Fraz, if you please.
Hit the outro.
Mic check 1, 2. Tell these rappers I'm outside, get them start acting up. Turning hoes to housewives and cleaning the ratchet up. Do it all from boom back to melody rap. If they can put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic simplicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it. That's it.